Welcome, everybody, to my show, Building Resilience. This show is to showcase people that have overcome things in their life. We're going to go very deep in their stories and how they are thriving today. So, today I have a very interesting guest, Eric King. Eric King, I got connected with him, I don't know how long time ago in LinkedIn. He's very active in LinkedIn. He has also a wonderful networking group that I have attended to. So he's a master of visibility and he's a salesman guru. So without no further ado, I'm going to give the mic to Eric. Thank you, Eric, for being here.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be on your podcast today.
Okay, well, tell the audience about your story.
Sure. Well, I actually came to America when I was 19. And when I came here, it was just about myself, my parents, were in Africa. And it was hard to adapt, right, to a new country. It was hard to adapt. I didn't have much money and I just wanted to survive, right? I wasn't looking to do anything major. I just wanted to survive at the time. But at the same time, I was happy that I was in this country because, land of milk and honey, right? They said this is where you can make it big, right?
Yeah.
So I went through, a lot of hardships. At some point, I didn't have a place to live. I had to stay with friends. But then, I really got into personal development that gave me the mindset that I can succeed regardless of my obstacles, and that's how I started to thrive. And I went to college in Philadelphia at Temple, and from there I got into marketing, and that's how I started my career after that.
So you begin your career in sales, correct? So
Yes,
talk
yes.
about that. How was your career?
Sure. So I wanted to get into marketing, like advertising, to be behind the scenes, but I got a job with Xerox, the copier company, and they only had a job in sales, right? So they said you have to do sales, and I was devastated because I didn't want to be in sales, right? I used to think of salespeople as pushy and overbearing, and I said I'm not that kind of guy. But then someone was my mentor. I had a mentor who wasn't pushy, he wasn't overbearing, but he was very good at sales. And he taught me that sales is not about selling something to someone something they don't need. It's more about helping people get what they already need.
Correct.
And then when I found that out, then I started, doing very well. I call it compassionate sales, where I only sell to you something if you actually need it.
Well, Xerox had a wonderful way of selling because I got connected with Xerox too when I was in Venezuela in the
Okay.
university. I had a Xerox machine in the college, so I was a Xerox guy too. I had my own Xerox. They had this lease that you pay per copy, so
Yeah,
they had a
copy.
wonder. It was a wonderful connection. And I stayed all my career with that Xerox machine, almost 5 years.
Yes.
So, so,
Yes, copy, copy. I remember copy.
so I know how they work. So tell me about how that working with Xerox, how you do your pivot to what you're doing today, how you can become
Yes,
a
yes,
speaker and
yes. It was actually life changing to me because I started moving up in the company, moved up all the way to vice president of sales. And so I had big accounts like Coca-Cola, and I had, accounts, $1 million accounts. But then I wanted to be an entrepreneur. I wanted to have my own business. So I started a production company where I bring people, entertainers on stage and things of that nature. And then I got into sales coaching, coaching other entrepreneurs, because I realized that most entrepreneurs don't really know how to sell because they don't teach us that at school. They
yeah.
just have this great idea and they're like, I'm going to make money. And they go to talking to people, and people say, no, I'm not interested. And they're like, well, maybe it wasn't a good idea. They don't ask the right questions, So that's how I got into sales coaching, right? I got into sales coaching. And I've been doing that for maybe about 17 years. And then I've always liked to get on different stages, like, podcasts, online summits, speaking engagements. And that led me to speaking in a studio. And a studio, it's just like a Tony Robbins studio, like you can see behind me.
Mhm.
And that's really where my business took off. And I've always believed in what Zig Ziglar used to say back in the day, that if you're helping out people get what they want, you'll have everything you want. So I created studiospeaking.com, and now I bring on other speakers, authors, coaches to speak on my stage.
I always see you in LinkedIn when you're promoting the people, and it's a even the audience that are hearing this is a very nice studio, so you can see the screen. It's like a Tony Robbins style. And
Yes.
how are the people doing after they are in your stage? Is getting
Yeah, great question. I just had one of my speakers just recently contacted me. She said she got another speaking engagement. So, Sylvia, she spoke on my stage, and before she was done, people already messaged her that they want to speak. They want her to speak on their stage. So she got speaking engagements, paid speaking engagements. She sold 300 of her books. She became a bestseller the day after she spoke on our stage, right? And then she decided she wanted to come back, so she came back and spoke again. There are so many examples. If you go to studiospeaking.com, you'll see I have a lot of testimonials of people that some people they get a business from it. Some people get speaking engagements from it because I just give you a lot of exposure. Give you a lot of exposure.
Yeah, and let's talk about that because there is something that is very important is that visibility. So, and
Yes.
I know that I always remember, Eric, that you posted one day something that if you are posting every day, sometimes people say, "Hey, you're doing too much," and I remember you said no because
Yeah.
Coca-Cola and McDonald's post every day.
Yes. Yes.
So talk a
Yes.
little bit about that.
Sure, sure. So I tell people, I mean, don't sell yourself short, right? I've been seeing Coca-Cola ads all the time. Like they do ads every day.
Yeah,
And Coca-Cola has been around before I was born, before we were both born, but they
yeah.
still do ads. And nobody has a problem with that. But then people start their own business and they're like, I don't wanna post every day. Why not? Like how else are people gonna know you, right? So don't be shy to promote yourself because nobody else will promote you,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Now, not don't make all your posts about selling, right? Make a lot of posts about value, right? Talking about value, things that can help you, maybe tips and stuff like that. But in terms of posting content, yeah, there's nothing wrong with posting.
No,
Actually, I post multiple times a day.
and today there's so many tools that you can use because I'm a guy that post every day, and
Mm.
sometimes people say, "How you have time to do that?" Is I'm not investing time. I
Yeah.
pick up a Opus clip and create 30 contents and you automate it and that's it.
Yes.
So you don't
Yes.
have to be all the day in the computer, but you can be showing up every day. And you said
Yes.
something very important that is that not only sell, help others. So use
Yes.
what you know, your knowledge that the people identify you that you are a guy that really wants to share because this is the way that you build trust. I know that you have at your stage and you have this networking group that that people can showcase their sales network. Talk a little bit about that. How you begin
Yeah,
that?
so I started this Promote Your Business Meetup group. I started it 2019. So it's
Wow.
about 6 years now. Yeah, in Maryland. So it was just a small room, and we had 8 people that started, and then the next day we had a few more and a few more, and now we are in 11 states, over 4,000 people in
Wow.
11 states. And basically, what it is you're able to come on at our events and speak for 2 minutes about your business, whatever it is. You're literally allowed to pitch, right? Tell them
Yeah.
what they do, and it's a networking group, and it's really grown. It's really grown. People get a lot of business from it.
I believe that when the people really feel that what you're doing is genuine, that you're really helping others, that's the key of the success.
Yes,
Because sometimes because there's a lot of networking places, but there are some places that you go that you don't feel this is not my fit. So you
yes,
immediately
yes,
go out. But there are
yeah,
some places that you say, hey, this is great. You connect and you really do long lasting connection. I have gone with people that today are my friends. So
yes,
even that you do it virtually, you get a lot of really genuine connections. So
absolutely.
let's talk about because you went through the process, then you pivoted to your career. Now you're doing this, you're speaking, you're helping others. What is next for Eric? What is the next step?
Yeah, so for me, I just want to continue to grow, continue to grow. I mean, we've had over 90 people speak on our stage. There'll come a time when I'll say we've had 1,000, right? I want to continue to change lives. There are a lot of speakers, coaches, and authors that they have great books, they have great offers, they have great information, but nobody knows them, right? So when they speak on our stage, we give them the video, right, that they can post, right? We give them they can take the pictures, right? We have a photo shoot, and then we put them in a magazine, right? There's so many things we do, and then they join our community, right? So many things we do to promote them, and my goal is just to promote more people. I have an event coming up right now, right? So we have, like, I think 3 spots left. So we're getting a lot of calls in from people that are vying to speak on the stage, and it's rewarding to continue to do that.
No, and these stages are incredible. There's a guy, I don't know if you're connected with him, Sean Fair, that he does the leadership.
Yeah, I
I,
know, Sean.
I did his tour in October last year. It was incredible, and
Okay.
not only that, it's the connection that you do with the people. Now
Yes.
today, all the people that we attended there, we have been like in 3 or 4 events together, and I have
Yes.
met some of them here. I live in Houston, and they had
Okay.
come here and we have met. I attended a conference the other day, so that's the beauty of this type of connection, that when you do real connections, and then it becomes to grow, and it's a kind of a ripple effect. So
Yeah, yeah. In fact, when you speak on my stage, we all go out for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, so we get to know each other,
correct,
right?
correct.
And then you join our community, so we do masterminds and things of that nature. So everybody that's ever been on my stage gets to be a part of this elite group that meets and works together, because
And you get connected
collab.
with them afterwards, so they can
Oh
get
yeah, yeah,
connected.
yeah. We're all connected afterwards.
Okay,
Not
okay,
yeah, but for all the events that we put together, everybody that's ever spoken on the stage is a part of this network. Yeah,
okay. That's
and
that's
and, and
that that's good.
collaboration is the new currency. So
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
mhm,
Okay, let's talk of something that I always mentioned, is the faith. For me, faith in the business is so important, no matter what you profess. So, how is the faith in all what you do? Where is the faith?
okay. So when you say faith, do you mean my Christian faith, or just my faith in
Maybe
believing?
maybe your Christian faith, how it had helped you in your
Yeah.
journey, because you mentioned you came here to the U.S. like I
Yes.
came here to the U.S.
Yes.
without nothing, and you begin a business. So how,
Yeah.
that for me, the faith is something very important, because it's
Yeah.
kind of the fuel that keeps you moving, even if you're
Yes.
going in a hard moment. So how that
Yes.
work with for you?
So for me, I'm a believer. So I believe in Jesus Christ. I believe in that I'm not the power behind why I wake up in the morning, right? And when I wake up in the morning, I'd say, well, thank you, God, right? That I'm able to breathe by myself. Not everybody can breathe by themselves, right? So
Correct.
I have that faith, number one. That's important to me, and that's the rock that I stand on every day. That gives me belief that I can do whatever I want to do. Okay. And then when you say faith in terms of faith in what I do, you
Mhm.
have to believe in yourself, and you have to believe in your offer to be successful at anything. Right. I
Correct.
always tell people, work on yourself more than you work on your business. Because if you don't believe in yourself, someone will talk you out of a great business. They'll actually talk you out of it. If you don't
Yeah,
believe in yourself.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So yeah, you have to believe in what you do and how you help people. Yes, definitely.
What is for you? There is a word that I love that is called determination. What do you think
Yes.
about being determined?
Determination is the one of the most important things you can ever have. Because whatever you set your mind on, there will be obstacles. A mentor of mine used to say, adversity is normal. Adversity is normal, right? So you're going to come upon adversity, and you have to weather the storm, and you have to be determined to be successful, right? Jim Rome used to say, don't ask for less problems, ask for more skills, right? The problems will come. So if you try to avoid failure, you're literally avoiding success, because you need to fail to succeed.
Correct.
You need to fail to
Yeah,
succeed,
yeah, yeah.
and determination keeps you going, keeps you going.
Correct. That's so true. And what about uh, what has been that moment in your life that, because everybody has their own storm. So what has been your storm?
You mean the moment in my life that I can remember? Maybe
Yeah, that's
aha
something
moment?
that really it put you totally down, and you went in the process that why this is happening to me.
Yeah, well, it was being homeless. Like I didn't have a place to stay for a while, right?
Okay.
And I didn't know what to do. God, thank God I found someone at the job that let me stay with him for a while. And again, that was God. That was a blessing from God, right? Until I was able to get my, I was able to get back on my feet. And it was scary. I was a teenager, right? But got me through it, and one thing that hardship does is it gives you resilience. So sometimes when I have problems now, like now I'm doing much better than I was years ago, right? Both financially and otherwise. So when I have issues or problems or challenges now, I think to myself, if I could get through it back then, I can get through this, right?
Correct.
So it actually makes you stronger. It makes you stronger when you have to go through problems and obstacles. It makes you really stronger, and you know that you'll make it. You just have to believe.
It's important. You mentioned several things because you mentioned the resilience, you mentioned the determination, you mentioned the mindset. What about the circle of support, the people that
Mm,
love you?
yes.
What is the place in
Yes.
Eric's life?
Yes. Family is very important to me. Very important to me. I have 3 kids. Um, Now, one thing I always tell people is you want the love and support, but sometimes you don't always get it from the people you think are going to give it to you.
Mhm.
So, especially entrepreneurship, you can be an entrepreneur and you could have family members that don't believe in what you're doing. So you literally have to get the support elsewhere. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah,
So don't limit yourself to the people that are in your family for that support, because sometimes they're not the right people, and that leads to making sure you're around the right associations. Associations is powerful, right? You want to be around the people that promote you. They don't just tolerate you; they promote you. They believe in you, right?
yesterday I was having a meeting with my pastor, and
Okay.
he was talking. We do a monthly meeting. The people that are in the leadership group, and he was talking about that taking care of your atmosphere. That
Mm,
and he was saying that you need to take care of your atmosphere, and the only way is it's surrounded by people that believes in you and is
yes.
connected and is vibing in you, with you. And that's how you can protect your atmosphere. So that's exactly what you're saying. That the people not
Absolutely.
only be with you, the people promote you. Because if
Yes.
not, you're gonna be having people against you, and you're
You'll have second
destroying your
thoughts.
atmosphere.
Yes, you'll be doubtful. You'll be doubtful, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. When I first thought of my idea, I was telling somebody about it, and she said, "Well, I don't know if speakers will pay you to be on your stage because they want to get paid." And I just ignored what she said. I'm like, with what I have, I know they'll pay me. So I started doing it. Now I have about 30 testimonials of people that paid me, right? So, but what if I listen to her? What if
Yeah.
I wouldn't be able to help all these people? So surround yourself with people that believe in you and what you're doing, basically.
Correct. Correct. And what is your why? In one sentence, what is your why?
My why is twofold. One is to create legacy for my children, my children's children, so they can look at that mantle and say, Papa, he changed our life, right? He changed
Yeah.
our life. And then two is to create an impact to the world, to help as many people out there in the world and create an impact while I'm here on earth.
Eric, if the people want to find you, where they can find you?
Yeah, well, first of all, I want to give a free gift to everybody that's watching. Okay.
Okay.
I spent a long time putting this together. It's like an ebook. So if you go to successwitheric.com, Eric is ERIC, successwitheric.com/100. And that's the number
I'm
100.
gonna put in the link. I'm gonna
Yes,
put
yes.
the
So, successwitheric.com/100. You'll be able to download my free ebook. I give you 100 ways to market your business and get more clients and more sales. So that's one thing I want to give everybody. I should start charging for it, but I'm going to give it for free for you guys.
and the audience that are hearing this guy is a guru. So you have to really hear them.
Awesome. Yeah, so they can grab that, and I'm Eric F. King on basically all social media: LinkedIn, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok. Now don't look for Eric King because there are hundreds of them, but I'm the only Eric F. King. I'm the only Eric F. King. Yes.
Okay, we're coming to the end, Eric. So in 1 minute, what will be your final advice to the audience?
My final advice will be to believe in yourself and believe in what you're doing and how you're helping people. That is the foundation of anything you do.
Okay, great. Well, this was a great interview. So let's keep in touch and continue what you're doing. You're doing great. Thank you. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for this platform, Jose. I
Bye-bye.
appreciate you. Bye-bye.
In the face of adversity, true leaders rise. This is the power of resilient leadership. But when crisis strikes, how do they respond? They adapt, they innovate, they persevere. That's the essence of resilient leadership, turning setbacks into comebacks.